History has seen some powerful, inspirational women, and also some of the cruelest and the most evil women. While women's history has been ignored or erased over the centuries, many women have made a huge impact on society. Our channel, The Past Quest, Women History. We only post videos about women's history. Subscribe the channel and support us. Irma Grese, known as the Beautiful Beast. Nazi concentration camp guard. Grese was born on 7 October 1923 in the small village of Rehen, Mecklenburg region, Weimar Republic. Her father was Alfred Grese, a conservative farmer, and her mother was Bertha Grese. She was one of the 5 children. Her father was strict with his children, used physical violence to discipline his children. Her mother committed suicide in 1932 when Irma Grese was 9 years old, allegedly due to marital problems with her husband. In 1933, Adolf Hitler came to power in Germany. Irma and all German children began Nazi indoctrination, because the Enabling Act of March 23, 1933, mandated a Nazi education in all elementary schools. Irma Grese and her sister Helen wanted to join the League of German Girls, BDM, the branch of the Hitler Youth for Girls, but her father forbade it. Going against their father's wishes, both Irma and Helen voluntarily joined the League of German Girls. Activities at BDM gave Irma an escape from her harsh and oppressive home life. In 1938, at the age of 14, Irma left the elementary school, and after leaving home, she worked on a farm for 6 months, then in a shop in Liechen for 6 months. It is not known why she left home, but it seems that it was due to a rift between her and her abusive father, who had been monitoring her comings and goings since puberty. Grese wanted to become a nurse, so in 1939 she joined the SS convalescent hospital at Herrenlichen to study nursing. She worked as an assistant nurse at Herrenlichen for 2 years, but apparently did not do well enough to become a full-fledged nurse. She was trained under Karl Gebhardt. Gebhardt told her that she could probably use her talents elsewhere. She moved to the SS Female Helpers Training Base near Ravensbruck, the all-women concentration camp, and was trained under Theodora Binz and learned to be sadist. After her training, she became a guard to work at Ravensbruck. About 2,500 women served as guards or overseers in Nazi SS camps, but were never considered full members of the SS, but rather employees of the Waffen-SS. In March 1943, Grese was transferred to Auschwitz-Birkenau, near Krakow, Poland. Before her transfer, she visited her father wearing full SS dress uniform. With his hatred of all things Nazi, she knew this would excite him, but apparently he didn't care. Her father asks her about her duties at Ravensbruck. They had a heated argument about her career in the SS, and he told her never to return home. She was camp guard and also had other duties there, including being telephone operator, commanding a gardening squad. In May 1944, Grese was promoted to Oberaufseherin, the second highest rank for female Aufseherin, and was given command over 30,000 women prisoners in Birkenau's camp. According to several survivors, Grese wore heavy boots, carried a whip and a pistol, and brutally beat, whipped prisoners. She had dogs at the Birkenau women's camp. She rode around the camp on a bicycle with a dog by her side and with the camp's female prisoners to work. If prisoners couldn't keep up with the column, she ordered her dog to attack them. She also participated in the selection of prisoners to be sent to the gas chambers at Auschwitz. She is also remembered for her physical beauty. She had natural blonde hair and blue eyes and wore good uniforms. Survivors dubbed her the Beautiful Beast, the Blonde Angel. Gisela Perl, a prisoner doctor and author of I Was a Doctor in Auschwitz, wrote, "She was the most beautiful woman I have ever seen." Grese spent hours in front of the mirror, styling her hair. She imagined herself as a movie star and once declared, "After the war, I'm going to be in films. You will see my name as a star on the screen. I know life, and I have seen many things. I feel my experiences will be useful in my career as an artist." Grese was alleged to have had affairs with several SS personnel, also with the infamous Nazi camp doctor Josef Mengele, as well as Josef Kramer, the commandant of Birkenau and later Bergen-Belsen camp. She also had numerous affairs with female prisoners. A male prisoner refused Grese's advances toward him, so she tortured the woman he loved. Grese dragged the woman naked by her hair and whipped her. The man had to watch this scene unfold. Grese also became pregnant. She wanted an abortion and wanted it secretly, as abortion was forbidden to German women by Nazi law since 1933. Prisoner doctors secretly performed abortions on Grese. She is also known to have been truly in love with SS Sergeant Franz Wolfgang Hatzinger at Auschwitz. In January 1945, the Soviet Red Army advanced into Poland and Auschwitz. The Nazi Germany were pushed into retreat. Nazis were worried that they would be accused of genocide, so they ordered the forced evacuation of camp prisoners. Thousands of prisoners were forced to walk long distances barefoot in the cold and snow, with little or no food, water, or rest, and were then loaded onto trains and boats. Thousands of them died of starvation and exhaustion. SS guards shot those who could not continue the march or who tried to escape. These evacuations were called death marches. Grese accompanied a prisoner evacuation transport from Auschwitz to Ravensbruck, and Hatzinger was assigned to the Bergen-Belsen camp. And in March, she was transferred to the Bergen-Belsen camp, along with a large number of prisoners from Ravensbruck. In the last weeks of the war, thousands of prisoners arrived at Bergen-Belsen camp, as the Nazi Germans continued to evacuate camps that were soon to be liberated by the Soviet and Allied forces. Grese's cruelty toward prisoners became worse in Belsen. She was known to make prisoners kneel for long periods of time. Prisoners were also forced to stand for hours in snow and rain. Also, she only worked in the camp for 3.5 weeks. She was so brutal that the prisoners called her the Beast of Belsen. When Allied forces advanced on Bergen-Belsen camp in April 1945, a majority of SS camp personnel fled the camp. Heinrich Himmler agreed to hand over the camp to Allied forces without a fight. Most of the SS camp personnel were allowed to leave. Only a small number of SS men and women, including camp commandant Josef Kramer, remained to maintain order in the camp. Grese did not flee and remained in the camp for her lover, Hatzinger. Hatzinger died of illness on April 23, 1945. On April 15, 1945, Bergen-Belsen camp was liberated by Allied forces. Allied soldiers found 60,000 prisoners inside, most of them severely ill and starving, and over 13,000 unburied bodies lying around the camp. They forced the SS camp staff to help bury thousands of bodies in mass graves. Grese and the remaining 44 former SS camp personnel were arrested and tried at Belsen trial in Lüneburg, Germany. She was charged with crimes committed at Auschwitz and Belsen camp, accused of abusing and killing camp prisoners. Irma's sister, Helen Grese, said at trial that in primary school, when girls were quarreling and fighting, Irma never had the courage to fight, but ran away. Grese in her defense said that she had only been following orders. Grese was found guilty of crimes at Auschwitz and Belsen and sentenced to death. She was the only prisoner who remained defiant. Her subsequent appeal was rejected. The night before the executions, The unrepentant Grese, Volkenrath, and Bormann sang Nazi songs long into the night. On December 13, 1945, Irma Grese was hanged by Albert Pierrepoint in Hamelin prison. Her last words she said in her languid voice, quickly. At only 22 years of age, she was the youngest Nazi war criminal hanged, and also the youngest person ever hanged under British law during the 20th century. She was buried in the Hamelin prison yard and reburied in Holy Ground at Amwell Cemetery in 1954. The gravesite is now a grass field. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.